Our next presenter is Kevin Turner. He's from rural South Carolina. He's made his way to the Queen City, and he is currently a behavior specialist for Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools. He's going to be pitching the Podium Student Services.
My name is Kevin Turner, founder and executive director of Podium Student Services. All right. Currently, I'm a behavior specialist for Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, so primarily I work with at-risk youth. And upon close observation of the students I counsel on a regular basis, I've come to recognize they have three things in common to some varying degree. It's disinterest in learning, lack of positive relationships, and lack of resilience, all of which contribute to poor academic performance, which has been directly linked to the negative behaviors exhibited by students. So this makes me think further to the root causes surrounding the dropout, suspension, and expulsion rates that have been afflicting our country for well over the past 20 years. So how do you garner interest in learning, foster positive relationships, and build resilience? That's where Podium Student Services comes in. What we intend to do is put the student in the driver's seat of their learning experience by allowing them to select a career of their choice to study independently, whereas we'll supply the assistance and resources as needed. We'll also facilitate peer mediation sessions to foster the positive relationships amongst the students, their peers, and the facilitators, as all the while providing the opportunity for the students to build and develop strategies conducive to building resilience. We intend to implement this with our 8-week summer program, which is our minimally viable product. And what this will allow us to do is to generate the baseline data necessary to begin to license the program out at 3 different rates. The basic at $2,500, the plus at $3,750, and the premium at $5,000, all of which inclusive of services tailored to the implementation of the program. Across these 3 rates, we have an average profit margin of 91%, very high. And we intend to reach that profit margin by going paperless, by having all of our materials available online in PDF form ready to print out, as well as having all of our services web-based via Skype and Meetup. And the underlying magic of this program is that to garner the buy-in into the learning process, we'll be nearly granting the students full governance over the structure of the program based on the loose structure that we provide for them. And we intend to reach our target market by generating the baseline data necessary, which will be inclusive of a comparison of the students' grades, referrals, and suspensions of the year prior to them entering to the program, and we will compare that to the first semester after they have participated in the program. Currently, our competition is response to intervention. Like Podium Student Services, they focus on improvements in behavior, academics, and they're also data-driven. But what they don't do that we emphasize is relevance and relationships, both of which are conducive to producing positive, sustainable, and lasting results. Excuse me, I'm a little behind. My current management team consists of myself, Antonio Wade, Collins Cornwell, and Gregory Hicks and Paul Pettigo as an advisor to the program. Within the first 6 months to a year of the existence of this program, our revenue will be derived solely from, solely from donations, charitable events, and fundraising activities. Whereas within the first year of the program, we'll be dedicated to generating the baseline data to begin to license the program out. So with that, I ask you to assist me in providing a platform for students to build their resilience and find their motivation with Podium Student Services. Thank you.
So in your fees, the fees that you laid out, are the schools paying for the service? Is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Have you gotten them to say yes, they'll pay for that?
Well, no, ma'am, not yet, because we need to generate the baseline data to begin to, so that we can get the confidence of the school. So in education, if you don't have the data to substantiate your claims, you only have claims. So we'll need to spend at least a year and a half or so generating the baseline data.
So are you going to do the pilot at the school that you're at, or?
Well, I intend to pilot it at the middle school that the elementary school that I work at feeds into. I already have existing relationships with some of the students over there, so that'll lend to my claims that relationships also build the promising results as well.
How did you come to get Paul Pedigo as an advisor?
I gotta thank Mr. Rock for that one. He connected us, and he agreed to come on in an advisory role.
Do schools, you currently work in the schools, right?
Yes, sir.
So does your school have some sort of program of, it's not like yours, but
Right.
something that's targeting the same thing?
Well, actually, response to intervention is being piloted in my school. It's one of the few schools that's being piloted in Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, and response to intervention is also being piloted across schools across the nation at this time. So I'm the one who really has to implement the response to intervention program. So I got a unique perspective on what worked with it and what didn't work.
How will you displace that competitor? You know, how will you convince your administration that your product or your methodology is superior to that they've at least made some level of investment in?
Well, actually, my administration team has already bought into the idea of my program, and they have all signed on to support me in any way that I need, because we all see the holes in response to intervention. It doesn't build lasting, sustainable skills for these students to take on, not only into academics, but that translate over into their personal lives as well.
Have you done any calculation? How many schools you need as clients in order to break even on this?
I haven't quite done those calculations yet, but upon doing that, I believe that we can get at least anywhere between 5 to 10 clients after we begin to license the program out based on the data. And see, the thing about it is there's already existing data to substantiate our claims that peer intervention and independent studies work separately. But what we intend to do is implement them concurrently to yield even better results. Thank you.